Good evening, Road Rangers. Woo woo.
Hey, Revolution Road Ranger.
Yeah.
Do you have road rage today?
How are you doing, Honey Badger?
Well, I have my cocktail, so it's a good day. How about you?
I'm great.
You are getting fancy.
I'm getting fancy. I have some sound effects here. I've got a huge cocktail. It's one of those days. It's Monday. And I'm just so happy to be here. And I'm grateful that everybody is here with us as well. So thank you for joining. As usual, we have just some brief housekeeping that we're going to do. We are trying to drive everybody to our Rumble channel. It is Revolution Road Ranger. We've got a few people on there, but that's really at this point going to be our only consistent video archive. We are using a Revolution Road Ranger 2 on YouTube. I have appealed some of the warnings on Revolution Road Ranger 1. So we'll just see how that works out. But again, thank you everybody for joining and hanging in there with us.
Do you have Road Ranger 3 up yet?
I do have Road Ranger 3. I don't have any videos there, so
but we can subscribe though.
Correct.
Okay, good. So we have some backup, and hopefully you'll win your appeal, and
correct.
We'll get the original back. That would be good.
Correct. So I'm going to do a screen share here, and I want to let everybody know that we changed the logo on our screen because what we're going to try to do is we're going to have a Rebel Words key. Because they do listen to the words. They have a algorithm. They use a solution that listens to the words, and they have certain words that are flagged. And so we're going to refer to, I'm not going to say the B administration, to Sleepy Joe, Sleepy. Ms. Harris, we're going to call her Cackle for right now, unless we change that. But she laughs at inappropriate moments and things that aren't funny. She just cackles. And then Danger Man is, I have my horror music here, Dr. F, because all he does is doom and gloom. Woo! So Danger Man, and the virus, we're going to call that the V. You know, we were joking. We could talk about, we could probably talk about herpes all day long, and we'd have no problem.
Or what I'm going to be talking about tonight too is fine. But anyway, continue.
Correct. So the V, or, sometimes, who knows, herpes might slip. It's hard to say. We're going to refer to the poke. And then we have some topics tonight that I know we're going to be discussed, but we're going to use the word play dates. Play dates.
Hopefully YouTube will like that.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can just kind of fake them out a little bit. So we have those in the upper right hand corner, kind of hard to read, but that's the scoop, poop. So we're going to go ahead and dig right in. So my first story tonight is a study from Tel Aviv University found that a South African variant of the V, or the herpes, affects people vaccinated. Oops, see, I already did it. People poked with one of the brands. I'm not going to say the brand begins with P as the brand. That this variant is affecting more people who've been poked than people who have not been poked. So we are expecting to have other different I don't want to say brands, but variants of the V that are going to affect people. And it doesn't really matter, because everybody that I've spoken with who's already gotten poked, they're still having to take tests. But the whole point here is that we don't know if it's lowering your immunity and making it more susceptible for other herpes. So that is, we just don't know. Let's just say that the show will go on and on and on, just like Celine Dion's heart.
Yes, exactly. Well, we're the guinea pigs. We're exterminated. It's all, it's a experiment.
Correct. So just know that we're on a roller coaster, and basically the little cars have just left the little station, and we haven't even gotten over the first hill yet. We've got so much more fun, especially with Danger Man.
Danger Man. Danger Man.
Yeah, and my next stories are going to kind of deal with that. So we're going to move into the next article, and we're going to talk about Sleepy. So Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich is filing a lawsuit against basically Sleepy's admin and the Department of Homeland Security over allegedly harmful immigration orders. And basically, in a nutshell, what this is when Sleepy got into office and Sleepy got crazy with his pen first day in and reversed a lot of orders from His Majesty, who I refer to Mr. Trump as His Majesty. He reversed His Majesty's orders. Basically, what that did is it caused a problem, because apparently when the feds make any changes to this type of law, there's actually a cause and effect as far as environmental, I don't want to call it threats, but as far as, when you're letting a lot more people come over the border, the B, it actually affects a lot of the environment in the states that these are affected. And so by building the wall and reversing the agreement that His Majesty had with Mexico, it's actually affecting a lot of environmental changes, with people taking up more residents, more cars on the street, more jobs. It just affects everything if you think about that. So what the AZ Attorney General is doing is they're suing Sleepy because they're saying that basically him reversing all of these things is going against the environmental agency, the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA. So just another opportunity for Arizona to be a badass,
That's good. Go Arizona.
And pretty much anything that they can do is awesome. Plus we have to remember that there were a lot of contracts with construction companies that became null and void illegally when those executive orders were done by Sleepy. So there were a lot of people who had already been, given contracts. They had done bids and won contracts and were promised money. You can't just chop this stuff off. So it's just crazy. It's insane. So
well, I read somewhere where it's going to actually cost more money to terminate or get out of these existing contracts than it is to even fulfill them, which
Correct.
Obviously has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with immigration, and they want these people to come because they need more. They need more children and women to traffic.
So, part of this lawsuit against Sleepy, Arizona is asking for the wall to be continued construction because it's affecting a lot of the environmental quality. I mean, if you think about air quality with cars on the road and whatnot, it just clogs everything up. We're talking about a huge influx into this state. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Well, go Arizona. And I think we have an Arizona watcher right now, I think.
Do we? We have a few fans in Arizona.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I think they're there. I don't know. No one's chatting. That's all right.
Most of the people are probably going to be watching this on playback because our live streams, it's just kind of an empty channel right now, but we're still going to get it distributed. So, you know what, Honey Badger? I'm kind of confused. Oh,
what?
I'm just so confused because we're getting a couple messages, different messages from Danger Man.
What is Danger Man doing now?
Okay, so here's the deal. In one interview or one article on Fox News, apparently critics erupt on Danger Man after he says to not eat indoors, even after getting poked. Okay, so he's even saying you can't eat indoors publicly anywhere. All right. And again, this is just never going to end. And Mark Meadows, not sure who he might be with Fox. His quote is, Democrats have zero intention of giving back their newfound control, even if you've been poked. And that's true. This is the beginning of the rest of our lives. This is never going to end on many fronts, on many, many, many fronts. So Danger Man is saying, don't eat indoors, even if you've been poked. But then on the other hand, there's an interview, and this is on MSN, where Danger Man is asked, I'm going to read this. This is coming from the person interviewing him, Willie Geist, on MSNBC's Morning Joe.
Can you share your screen?
No, I'm not. I cannot share my screen.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry.
Thank you.
Continue.
So Willie Guy says, I wasn't prepared that way. I was more concerned about mixing this cocktail.
I understand. That's important.
Yes. So Willie Guy says he's talking to Danger Man. Willie says there was a lot of concern last month when Texas effectively opened up, dropped all of those restrictions and said it's back to life. And if you go to Texas, as you know, it looks like 2019, like this is pre-V. Okay. It looks like everybody, the restaurants and bars are full and open. The ballparks are full. And yet, Willie Guy says, we've seen cases and hospitalizations since then continue to tick downward in Texas. And he's talking to Danger Man. So what do you make of that as all of us look around and try to consider how safe it is to get back to normal life? Because I live in fear. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So this is what Danger Man replies. Yeah, it can be confusing because you may see a lag and a delay because often you have to wait a few weeks before you see the effect of what you're doing right now. So he's basically doing like a self-fulfilled prophecy. It's been 5 weeks. Texas took down their restrictions on March 2nd. And Danger Man continues, there are a lot of things that go into that. When you say that they've had a lot of the activity outside, like ball games, he says, I'm really not quite sure. So I don't know. I'm so confused.
Okay. This is all part of the awakening. This is all done on purpose.
I don't know what to do. Do I hide in my home?
No, you don't hide. And you laugh at this and enjoy the show. You know what they say, enjoy the show. Seriously, correct. This is a show. It's all pantomime. I'm convinced of it. This is an information warfare. And so we just go, this is supposed to be ridiculous to wake people up. It is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous.
So
upside down.
These are articles like within a day or two, Danger Man being interviewed. And on one hand, he says, no, you can't eat indoors. And then on the other hand, he can't explain. It's very confusing why, Texas, their numbers are still trickling downward. And, but I'm sure he's expecting that they're going to explode and everyone's going to just run and hide. And
you know what? But there's a percentage of the population that will listen to him and they will stop eating indoors. I mean, seriously.
It just never ends. It just never ends.
It's just completely insane.
It is completely insane. And so that's it for my main stories. I have a feel-good story that I'll circle back around with at the end. But if you're ready, Honey Badger, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, well, I have a couple of stories. I was listening to Mel K this afternoon or this morning, and I guess there has been several threats to AOC. I guess people have been threatening her.
Sure.
And there's a couple of people that have been threatening her, and they are actually like mobs of police people have been going to their houses or her house.
Okay.
Actually, no. The people who are threatening are being targeted. I mean, I don't think these are like extreme threats. I think they're just saying something bad about her, but they're actually going to their houses.
Police are following up with the people
Yes.
writing the garbage online.
Yes,
Okay.
like 10 or 12 people at a time going to people's houses. So that's really a good use of the police's time.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, totally. An update on New York City. The sexual assault in New York City is up 322%. I know.
Why? Because we don't have police on the street?
Yes, correct. And it's people, everyone with jobs are leaving.
Yeah.
And they're converting all these hotels, several hotels, and turning them into places for people to live, the homeless people.
Correct.
And then the migrants, they're getting $15,000 each. So I thought that was a very startling statistic. And I know, so Nana had a comment on that. Nana, what did you think about the sexual assault going up 322% in New York City?
I just had to shake my head.
Isn't that disgusting?
We have it here, folks, live. Nana shook her head.
Is she going to be your special guest every night? She's just going to sit there part of it.
Sometimes she's asleep. So if she's asleep, then she won't.
So it's just Nana and then Trumpy Bear, and then everything's going to be all right.
Tonight she was alert. And so she's here, and and I'll tell you what, she shook her head like she meant it. Okay,
I can see
she's
that.
a ball buster. Revolution Road Nana.
Okay, so another tidbit. I have stopped watching Saturday Night Live for years. I just refuse to watch it because they've been very, very political for years.
Correct.
Well, evidently this past Saturday night, in the opening dialogue, I don't know who was hosting, but they were talking about the trial that's going on in Minneapolis.
Okay.
What's his name again?
George
Floyd. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Officer
and so
Chauvin, or
and so the cast member who was doing the opening bit said that it's an open and shut case. He's just telling everyone it's an open and shut case, and they were talking about and I really should go back and watch it, but I just heard that it was very racist, where the black cast members were against the white cast members, and they were preaching the white cast members were talking about nonviolence, but the black people were disputing it. The bottom line is that they were sort of like debating and making this a political statement, and the way they perceived themselves, it was very racist against whites. And they think that this case is an open and shut case, even though it's an active case. It's still being tried. They're openly making their opinion on national TV, where the jurors are not sequestered. They're
open to media.
Exactly. And it's a fact that he had 3 times the fentanyl in his system to kill one person. He had meth in his system, and he had an enlarged heart. And in fact, and the fact was that the officer was on his shoulder, not
the shoulder
on
blade. From his police cam, it looked different than when you see it from a witness camera. And here's the deal. Whatever the jury says by looking at all the evidence, obviously we respect a jury of our peers, but what you're saying is that you can't try something in the media and have a decision before it's even done. And it's two-faced when it's perfectly okay. They have carte blanche
Oh yeah.
to criticize and put down and call white people names. And I want to be perfectly clear. I am not a white supremacist. You are not a white supremacist. We are not racist. But there comes a time when, I mean, can we all just stop the division?
No, but see,
Stop.
But see, that's the whole ploy of the
playbook.
The playbook is to pit each other and
Correct.
hate each other and destroy each other. So we are distracted by what they're doing in the background, destroying our lives. And
I think we're looking at another summer of play dates.
Oh yes. Oh, there's lots of play dates. And that is another, this was pointed out to one of my Arizona BFFs. Let me share my screen. Whoops. Oh my goodness. I need to learn how to do this. Okay. La 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 la. Okay. So you should be seeing my screen.
Yep,
Where it says they just okay. So evidently, I don't know if you saw this, but this person, Natasha Wright, put this on Twitter and Facebook. And when this kid shot, oh no, Dwant Wright was killed by the police in Brooklyn Center today. He was pulled over while driving pulled over for driving while black. So
yes, I saw.
So he got shot by a cop. Did he die? I think he did. I'm not sure if he died or not.
Yet.
I'm sorry. I haven't really done a lot of research on this, but so the point I'm making is Facebook and Twitter said it was all right for this person to say they just killed my nephew. Minneapolis can burn the fuck down.
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
That's okay. That was not censored. That was not. And so they are accusing you,
yes,
Road Ranger, of inciting violence.
Yes.
But they're actually inciting violence, and that's okay.
That's perfectly fine, and that's appropriate language.
Correct. So
Maxine Waters specifically told people, if you are in a restaurant and you see anyone wearing MAGA clothing, you need to harass them. You need to go to their homes. I mean, it's insane. I can't even go there.
Yep.
I can't even go there.
And so I really do believe that this is done on purpose, because it has to be insane. It has to be backwards for people to really realize what these people are all about. I really do think it's an information warfare. Instead of tanks being on the streets or people taking bullets, the old fashioned way of soldiers killing soldiers, it's an information warfare. So I think it's going to be interesting, but my opinion is it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I hope I'm wrong.
There are a lot of articles out there that also don't get censored, where basically people want to do away with white people. I mean, they want us completely erased.
Yep.
And again, just to be clear, if you're just joining us, we're not, racist. We love everybody. We want peace. We're just talking about what gets censored and what doesn't get censored. That's really the point here. And the unfortunate events that are taking place. I think there was another shooting in Tennessee today as well. They're just happening all over the place.
Mm-hmm. And they're all red, or they're all white flags. No, what they're called. My brain is not working very well today.
I know it's a Monday. False. These are all false flags.
Thank you very much.
And everybody's life is very valuable, but at the same time, these are things that did not happen when His Majesty was in office. These things, we did have some every so often because people are sick and they have mental illness, but this just is like down your throat everywhere happening right now.
Because they're passing these. He's now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was listening to the radio today, and he is in the process of signing an executive order to sue any gun manufacturer or gun shop that sells a firearm to someone who does murder or like blows up a
really?
school or So he's either has proposed it or will propose it. I'm not
So
sure.
it's like it's a hindsight thing. Are you kidding me? So if somebody goes out and hurt somebody, what you're saying is wherever they bought the gun.
Yes, they're going to be liable. They're going to be, yes. And if I have that wrong, anyone who's put it in the chat, but I believe that that's what I heard. That so it's like the car. If you drive a car, right?
Correct.
And your car hits somebody and kills somebody. Or you drunk
drive and you kill somebody. Yeah.
Right. They're going to sue. Instead of suing the individual for doing that, they're going to sue Honda because they made the car. Or the Honda dealer for selling the car to me.
I don't know if they're just sitting around and trying to come up with the most ridiculous things in the world.
I think they are.
Yeah, but what happens to them? Yeah. That'll be a different story.
That's true. But it doesn't care, the peasants and the elites, there's two different judge and jury.
What goes around comes around. The day will come,
I agree.
Will become the peasants.
It's good against evil. Absolutely. So this is something that was sent to me on Telegram, or our group in Telegram, and my dog is not cooperating. Evidently, this is a list of Nancy Pelosi's transactions.
For what?
Let's see. Periodic transaction report. And in one, it highlights that her and her husband purchased up to $10 million in Microsoft just weeks before the Pentagon announced a $22 billion contract with the tech giant for AR headsets. Yeah,
Is anyone following up on that? Because that sounds like insider trading.
You know what? I'm sure she's going to be. That's a silly question, Road Ranger. Oh my goodness. So let me go to Disclose TV and see what we have here. This is, again, one of my favorite.
I wrote that down to check it out.
Yeah. Just check that out. So, all right. So let me switch my screen again. There's a couple other. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is the coming up this weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There is an event that I really, really would like to go. It's an event of patriots. General Flynn, Dr. Simone Gold, and many more. The Patriot Street Fighter is going to be there this weekend, and they're going to be streaming it live on Bright.com. So I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that this was going on, because they sold out right away. 4,500 people will be in attendance to a live event, and 50,000 people called to get tickets.
Wow.
And I think this is part of the tour that they are going around the country that we talked about a couple shows ago. But I wanted to bring that up because I'm going to be tuning in. I don't know about the whole weekend, but I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Another thing is when we're talking about the poke passports. Yeah. They're already a total flop in New York. I guess not, and this is a shocker, but I guess the app itself is not working correctly.
What is this, the Excelsior?
Yes, this is the one in New York, I believe. Yeah. Yes. And the New York. It's sort of like the Obamacare boondoggles. Yeah. Remember the site? It's similar to that. I guess consumers, or the sheeple, are complaining already that the app is riddled with problems and can't find your records. And that's because local, state, and national databases aren't in sync or even working together at all. That's a shocker. Plus, others are posting complaints that the app can't even find your records from weeks ago. No V poke pass for you. It's like Obamacare and the Unaffordable Care Act, where you couldn't even log into their websites for months. So I think that's good news.
You know, I'm familiar with app development on the outside, and it takes a long time to get an app developed where there aren't any bugs. And this just seems like a rushed job to begin with. And it made me, originally I was suspicious that they didn't have this. If they truly had an app that could take this type of data and work and function the way that they say, it would have had to have been, you know, brainstormed a year ago. So it made me suspicious immediately that they had this, you know, it's just a disaster. Everything's just a disaster.
It is. Yeah. But I thought that was interesting. So that's my New York update. And then one more story, Road Ranger. So there is a Boston hospital, and I will follow up on the name, but they are doing a pilot, and it's backed up by Harvard Medical School, and it is a pilot where they serve people of race first.
Okay.
So if you need medical care,
yeah,
and you're a person of color, they're going to have privilege when it comes to operations or any medical care. They are going to go first.
Where's this at?
This is a Boston hospital.
Oh, okay.
It's backed by Harvard, and I can try to find the Boston phone or the Boston hospital that's doing this. And I'm sorry, was not as very prepared.
No, it was definitely a Monday today, and I was behind as well. So
it's a race pilot. That's what they're calling it. Yeah. So this, I mean, come on. Oh, well, here it is. Oh, here it is. It just came right up. Let me share my screen. Boston area.
There you go.
All right. Boston area hospital to offer preferential care based on race. Later, Brigham's and Women's Hospital, a globally known medical center in Boston. This unnamed program, blah, blah, blah. It's a pilot initiative. Uses, a reparations framework that focuses on Blacks and Latin patients and community members. So there you go.
Well, you know, I understand that there was a lot of oppression. I mean, I really, really do. I completely do. But I think we need to admit the sins of the past, and we need to move forward in a more unified way. And this is not unifying. I don't feel like this is more division.
No, but see, that's the whole point. That's what they want. They're creating this so we hate each other. We've been manipulated about this race war that's been going on. I mean,
it's only created because they're creating it.
Exactly. Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley, actually, did you see that interview where he was
heard about
an interview? Yeah. So he's basically doing his job on a sports desk. And he just says, you know, most Black people I know don't hate white people, and most white people I know don't hate Black people. And they're telling us to hate each other.
Exactly.
And it's classical conditioning, and it's these kids growing up and having to do school assignments about their white privilege.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're Irish, and I'm not comparing it in any way, but historically, Irish people were treated as slaves. They were brought over as slaves and indentured servants. But I also want to remind everybody, women did not have rights
to vote.
A woman could not vote until I think the 1930s, and
1920.
until the 1970s, a woman could not open a bank account unless she was married or her parents, or she had to have a man involved. And women were oppressed far longer than anyone else. And again, the South, there were horrible things that happened to people in the South. But if we want to really talk about this, it's a narrative. It's an agenda. It's a narrative. And
it's psychological warfare.
People haven't been treated equally in a long time. I mean, men still treat women like we're inferior. Women still don't get paid. I joke, but if women are making 87 cents to $1 what men are made, we should have our 87-cent card where we go around and we only pay 87%.
But how do you know that you're being less? You're paid less than a man.
They're saying I'm talking general statistics.
So who does these statistics?
Probably the deep state.
Exactly. That's what my point is. That's my point. So you can't believe these statistics. They want men against women. They want us to fight. You know what I mean? They want sisters to fight. They want us to fight Nana in the back. I mean, Nana, look at her. Look at her. She wants to fight.
There goes Nana.
Nana, what do you think about? What?
Oh, sorry. That's really.
Oh
loud.
My God.
That's really loud. Sorry.
Okay, so Nana, did you have your own bank account in your own name in the 60s, like a checking account?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Did you have to have a man help you open it?
No.
Okay, well maybe that's wrong. Again,
See?
I report on what I read.
No, I thought that too.
Yeah.
No, because that's what let's see.
You could have a checking account all on your own. You didn't have to have a husband or a father.
I moved to Chicago in the 60s, and I had a bank account in Des Moines, and then I transferred it to Chicago area.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right, well, see,
more division.
Question everything. I think we've been lied to about everything.
I'm so ashamed of myself.
Yeah, Road Ranger. Okay, so you want to close with a good story?
Yes, I do. And I don't have this on my screen to share, but basically, all right, everybody who listens, I love dogs. I love kitties. I love animals. We're all kitty puppy friendly. So my happy story is there is a dog in Massachusetts who got out while a sitter was watching. And this was 5 years ago. And 10 miles away, an animal, the people had seen this dog running around the neighborhood, and somebody actually worked with animal welfare and put a cage in their backyard and had food in there, and they trapped the dog and they chipped it. And lo and behold, it was this woman's dog who had been gone 10 years in Massachusetts through 5 winters, which are very, very cold. And the dog survived on his own somehow. And the dog is back with its owner. And she said she never forgot her doggie.
10 years.
5 years. 5 years.
5 years. Oh
yes.
My God, that's terrible.
Yes. So, but the doggie's back.
Aw. Well, that's a good story.
Yes. I love the little animals, and I love it when the little animals can come home.
Do we have any comments or questions on our
We don't. There are crickets chirping.
Okay.
But we'll get this distributed, and everybody will be amazed by what they've learned tonight from Road Ranger and Honey Badger.
Okay.
Watching.
Yes, there are people.
That's me watching.
There's Nana. Look, Nana, I'm crushing your head. There, crushing. There we go. Crushing your head.
All right. Well, can I have your drink if you're not going to drink it? Road Ranger?
It's half gone.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. So is that a wrap?
Other than that,
Road
that is a
Ranger?
wrap. And we take Tuesdays and Thursdays off. So we will be back with everybody on Wednesday night. And my email, revolutionroadranger@gmail.com, is still available. Please join us on Rumble at the Revolution Road Ranger channel. Please join us on Telegram. That's where we do a lot of our updates as well. And I have the links in the description for all of our channels. So we can't count on YouTube, but we'll be here where we can, how we can. So thank you, everybody, for your support. So we're going to sign off now, Honey Badger.
Okay, let's sign off.
We're going to pray for the military.
We're going to pray for the children.
And we're going to pray for His Majesty, President Trump. We haven't gotten that sign off right yet.
No, we haven't, but that's okay. I like the sign off.
All right, Nana. Wave goodbye, Nana. There she is.
Goodbye, Nana.
Goodbye. She says goodbye, Nana. All right, go back to bed. All right, you guys, have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.